The courtroom buzzed with tension, every eye fixed on the judge as he prepared to deliver the verdict. Gregory Miles, a man feared and untouchable, sat with a smug confidence, certain his wealth and influence would keep him free. The victim's family clutched each other, hopeless. Weeks of missing evidence and retracted witnesses had left the town in despair. Then, unexpectedly, the heavy doors creaked open. A tiny girl, no older than 4, stepped in, clutching a tattered teddy bear. Beside her, a German shepherd moved with quiet authority. The courtroom froze. Nobody knew what she had seen, but everyone felt that justice might finally have a chance. The courtroom was filled with a heavy silence, punctuated only by the occasional shuffle of papers and the creaking of wooden benches. The rain pelted against the tall windows, casting streaks of gray light across the room, as if the storm outside mirrored the tension inside. Everyone's eyes were on Gregory Miles, a man whose reputation for manipulation and power had kept him untouchable for years. He sat confidently, fingers steepled, a smug smile playing across his lips. The spectators, the media, and even some members of the jury seemed frozen by the idea that justice might not prevail today. For months, the trial had unfolded under a cloud of fear. Witnesses had mysteriously disappeared or retracted their statements. Evidence that should have condemned Miles had gone missing, as if swept away by his influence. The victim, Mrs. Clara Benson, had been a gentle soul loved by neighbors, remembered for her generosity, and tragically taken too soon. Her absence weighed heavily on the community, leaving an oppressive sense of injustice lingering in every conversation and whispered rumor. The judge, his robe heavy and solemn, tapped the gavel lightly. "We are ready to proceed," he announced. The room seemed to hold its breath. Miles leaned back, a confident smirk on his face, convinced that his wealth and cunning would see him free once again. The victim's family sat forward, knuckles white, eyes darting nervously to every corner of the room. Hope seemed to have deserted them. Then, a sound cut through the oppressive silence, the slow, deliberate creak of the courtroom doors opening. All eyes turned, expecting perhaps a late attorney or a last-minute witness, but what walked in silenced everyone. A little girl, no older than 4, stepped inside, her rain-soaked boots squeaking softly against the polished floor. In one arm, she held a worn teddy bear, its fur matted and eye missing. At her side, a massive German shepherd moved with calm authority, tail low but body coiled like a spring, ready to act. The bailiffs exchanged uncertain glances. "Should we stop her?" one whispered, but something about the girl's steady gaze made them hesitate. She began walking toward the front, step by deliberate step. The spectators, the jury, even Miles, could not look away. Her small voice rang out as she addressed the judge. "I know what he did," she said simply, pointing at Miles. A stunned gasp swept through the courtroom. Reporters fumbled with pens, dropping notes in disbelief. Miles' confident smile wavered as he leaned forward, eyebrows raised. "What nonsense is this?" he muttered, trying to maintain control. His lawyers scrambled, insisting that the child was too young, that her words were imagination, but the judge waved them down. "The court will hear her," he commanded. The girl began to recount the events she had witnessed. Night after night, she had watched from a neighbor's window, unseen and silent. She described the crime in precise detail, gestures mimicking the act, her small hands trembling as though holding the weapon itself. The gallery gasped as her words painted a vivid picture of the horrific crime. Her testimony was simple, direct, and impossible to ignore. The German shepherd moved subtly, alert to every shift in Miles' posture. At a signal from the girl, it sprang into action, sniffing around him with deliberate precision. Moments later, it returned, carrying a piece of evidenza knife, still faintly stained, that linked Miles irrefutably to the crime. The room erupted, Miles' composure shattered, his face drained of color. The evidence, once missing, had appeared in the most dramatic way possible. Forensics confirmed the child's account and the dog's discovery. The fingerprints were clear, the chain of events undeniable. The judge struck the gavel one last time. "Gregory Miles, you are found guilty of the murder of Clara Benson. Sentencing will be immediate." Cheers, sobs, and applause swept the room. The victim's family wept openly, releasing months of pent-up anguish. The little girl collapsed into the dog's thick neck, crying tears of triumph, not fear. Outside, the rain had stopped, revealing the first glimmers of moonlight, as if the world itself was acknowledging the courage of a small child and her loyal companion. The community watched, awed, as even the untouchable had been brought down. And in that moment, the lesson was clear. Courage and truth could pierce even the densest walls of power. If this story gave you chills, Hit the like button and share it with anyone who loves true stories of courage and justice. Comment below, what would you do if you witnessed a child and her dog stopping a killer in real life? Don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales of courtroom drama, heroic animals, and moments where justice triumphs against all odds. Every like, comment, and share helps us bring unbelievable, emotional stories to life. Join our community and experience stories that prove courage can come from the smallest voices and the bravest hearts.